Hey!
Hi.
Welcome back to We Be Kids again. As you all know, we love to come out into the woods, and we often bring out a hammock, and we'll have a hammock and we'll have a campfire. But when we've got a hammock and a campfire, there is something else that we love to have as well, and that is a tarpaulin shelter, because if it rains, you've got to have somewhere to keep yourself nice and dry. So in today's resource, we are going to show you how to put up a tarp shelter in the woods. So to put up our shelter in the woods, we're only going to need a couple of things. We're going to need
some rice,
and we're also going to need a tarpaulin. Now, you can buy tarpaulins from all different places, and some of them are really expensive. But for us, we've just got a simple garden tarpaulin, which we bought really cheap from a discount store. This is going to work as good for the kind of thing that we want today as a really expensive one. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this activity. So along with our tarp and our rope, we're also going to need some trees. Now, choose carefully for the trees that you use. You want to make sure that the trees are a good distance apart for your tarp, but also look for trees that are coming off on right angles from your tarp as well, for tying the corners off. So shall we check if this one fits? Okay, you get that side. Open it up. Lay it down. So that is perfect. So on most of the tarpaulins that you buy, they're going to have these eyelets in them. Now, here's a trick that we learn over time. If you tie directly into the eyelets, on a windy day, the wind just pulls and it rips these clean out. So we came up with a different way, using little bits of wood as toggles. So we're going to take a piece of wood that is about as long as my thumb. Try and make sure it doesn't have any sharp edges. You don't need anything fancy here, we just picked this off the woodland floor. We're then going to place it underneath our tarp, like so, and just pinch it. Wrap the tarp around, and we're just going to twist it, like so, a couple of times. Then I'm going to take our string, and we're going to tie a clove hitch knot and slip that over the wood and pull both ends like so. And that is going to give us this toggle effect. Now when the wind blows on a really windy day, this isn't going to rip, and it's going to save you repairing lots and lots of tarps or getting really wet on a windy day. So the shelter that we're going to show you today is an A-frame shelter, and some people like to put a ridge line from tree to tree and throw it over. That is completely fine. There are 101 ways to put up a tarpaulin, but for today we're just going to show you how to connect it to the tarp and then to the tree. We find that this works best on windy days, because on windy days sometimes the tarp can nudge along the ridge line and you end up with it all crumpled at one end. So once we've got our toggles on and our string, we're just going to lift it up. And we're going to take it around our trees. So you may want your shelter really close to the ground to stop the wind from coming in, or you may be having a fire under your shelter and you want it really high. So for this, I'm going to put it quite high. We're on a slant, so I don't want it too close to the ground. And I'm just going to begin by taking the string around the back of the tree, like so. And I'm just going to find the right tension that I want here. If you have enough string, you could take it around again if you like, but keep it underneath the first string, like so. I'm then going to connect it using what's called an event knot. So I'm taking the working end of the string, I'm coming underneath, reaching my hand over, I'm going to pinch the rope, twist it again, and then pass the working end under there and through and pull tight. And I'm going to pull that against the tree to hold it in place. And what's great about that knot is that if you need to release it quickly, you can just pull it through like so. So now the main line's up, I'm going to take some string and some sticks and I'm going to toggle the corners. So there we have it, how to put up a simple A-frame tarp to cover your hammock on a wet and windy day. There are many different ways to put up your tarp, and as you become more experienced, you'll come up with your own little styles as well. If you're working with groups and you're using a rectangular tarp, you can use exactly the same technique as we did here today. A round tarp might have a different technique. But if we were going to give you a few top tips for putting up your tarp, the first one would be to prepare your area first. Choose well, make sure your trees are well spaced and there's also trees for tying onto. Also, use the toggle and never tie into the eyelets. It will save you lots and lots of work in the future. So we hope you've enjoyed this resource. We hope you can add the tarp to your day out with your hammock and also with your campfire as well. So thanks for stopping by at Weeby Kids, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Bye. Bye.